years, but you've been really competitive along with the Yamahas, so how are you feeling ahead of this?
The feeling is good because especially this morning we did a good job, but you know, this is just a warm-up, you know, not a race. An important race, very difficult because 20 laps and very long, especially that track, you know, not easy for the riders. But we will see, we will try to do the best because especially, you know, we have always the less grip rear. We need to manage rear tire. We will see this race. I will try to my best like always.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack. Thanks to triple world superbike champion Toprak Razgatlioglu, 17th over the line in both our opening Grand Prix so far this season. And as he just mentioned, this is going to be a real physical test for the world's best. Marquez saying yesterday after his crash in the sprint that he's going to be in survival mode today, still recovering from that right shoulder injury. As we look at three of the best to ever do it in the MotoGP World Championship, Hall of Famers on the left-hand side of your screens. Kevin Schwantz, 1993 MotoGP World Champion, of course, icon in this part of the world. Freddie Spencer in the middle of your picture there, Hall of Famer, 1985. Who will ever forget that season when Spencer somehow, a truly unique achievement, surely it will never be matched, winning 2 World Championships, the 250cc and 500cc World Championship in the same season. And on the right-hand side of your picture there, one of the best to ever do it, Kenny Roberts. King Kenny Roberts, a trailblazer for American talent, an inductee into the Hall of Fame. Got his medal from MotoGP CEO Carmelo Espeleta here on Thursday. The first rookie ever to win the MotoGP World Championship, the first American ever to win the MotoGP World Championship. It's a pleasure to listen to all three right now on the grid with our Jack.
Yeah, this is quite some company. Kevin Schwantz, Freddie Spencer, Kenny Roberts. Kevin, starting with you, what a race we had yesterday. Do you think more of the same is going to be on offer now?
Yeah, let's hope they can calm down that first couple of laps and maybe not take a bunch of people out. So, yeah, I mean, the racing I think is going to be just as good. Competition even tighter. I think over race distance is going to get even closer. So I'm looking forward to a good race.
Absolutely. Freddie,
yeah,
what can we expect here?
Well, I kind of echo a little bit what Kevin's saying. It's a long race, you know, and this first corner is tricky, as we know. And so, but as riders, they have to be able to negotiate that and get through it safely. You can't win the race in the first corner. And so, you know, obviously, I think we'll see. It's going to be interesting today. You know, Marc was good this morning. And, you know, Marco Bezzecchi has dominated the last 2 Grand Prix. So it's going to be a fascinating race.
Thank you very much. And Kenny's just run off from me. I'm going to very quickly just grab Kenny. Kenny, a very special weekend for you, picking up the Hall of Fame gong yesterday. Just how much does it mean to collect that and spend it in the company of these guys alongside you?
I didn't hear a word you said, but it sounded like you knew what you were talking about. Yeah, it was a good weekend for us. He was on the podium and won the last one, so you know, back at it again, you know.
Brilliant to hear from 3 American icons. Yeah, trust us, Kenny. Jack does know what he's talking about down on the grid and in pit lane. And there was a wonderful gesture from the Circuit of the Americas at the front of the grid as we saw the late, great Nicky Hayden's Repsol Honda. You can just see it there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screens. 20 years now. Where has that time gone? 20 years since the Kentucky kid. Not just a fantastic rider, but a fantastic person as well, wasn't he? Nicky, a great ambassador for our great sport, and a wonderful tribute from the circuit. 20 years after that unforgettable, emotional day. It brings a lump to my throat now thinking about that day at the Ricardo Tormo circuit in Valencia when Nicky won the championship in such emotional scenes against Valentino Rossi.
He is still so missed by everyone in the MotoGP fraternity. Yes. We hope that we can have a World Championship anything like as good as that as we go through the 2026 World Championship. The evidence so far from the first 2 Grand Prix, the first 3 sprints, is that we're heading that way with already 3 different World Championship leaders, 3 different sprint winners, but at the moment still 1 Sunday Grand Prix winner.
Well, we've got the cheerleaders, and our most frequent recent leader in MotoGP has been none other than Marco Bezzecchi. course, today, if he leads over the line the first 3 laps of this Red Bull Grand Prix of the United States, he will set a new record for consecutive laps at the front of the pack. 2015, Jorge Lorenzo, the former factory Yamaha star, triple Motogp world champion, of course, led for 103 consecutive laps when he went on a winning spree 11 years ago. Marco Bezzecchi, I think if he'd have been qualified on the front row, you'd have really backed Marco to maybe get the whole shot and maybe get away at the front of this Grand Prix. I'm not saying he won't win for the 5th time in a row. I'm not convinced that he's going to do it leading every single lap, but hey, never discount Bez. Right, the Italian off at your peril.
Yeah, it is a long old lap here, 5.5 kilometres for him to get himself to the front of the field and to keep that extraordinary run intact. You know, just closing in on the national anthem here, which is always a stirring experience here at the Circuit of the Americas, which will certainly stir that man. Justin Marks, the team owner of the Trackhouse squad, and his riders going from 10th and 13th, and I think it's fair to say that certainly in Ayagura's case, he's out of position on the grid.
Yeah, Agura-san unfortunately has had 3 pretty big spills so far here this weekend. That followed his best Friday in MotoGP when he was second best to Marc Marquez. So for the time being, the cheerleader show has come to a conclusion. There is Nicky Hayden's 2006 World Championship winning Repsol Honda. Just fantastic to see that bike and Nicky's helmet here at the front of the grid. Let's go and get some thoughts pre-race though from VR46 Racing Team rider Frankie Morbidelli, who's with Jack.
A challenging weekend. Do you think you found some answers in the sprint and this morning to see your challenge further up?
Very much challenging weekend. Really looked like one of those weekends. We found something yesterday that was a bit better, and also this morning I improved the feeling another step. Let's see what kind of race we can do. Hopefully we can come up. I'm not aiming on anything epic, but let's see.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck to Frankie Morbidelli. As you can see, we saw Jack walking with Frankie up pit lane as they come to the pre-grid ceremony. And you can see VR46 Racing are sporting a beautiful special American Grand Prix livery here this weekend, unveiled on top of the Manhattan skyline in New York. They've been busy boys since Brazil last weekend, Didier and Frankie. The New York Knicks basketball game. They were at the New York Stock Exchange earlier on this week before they unveiled that spectacular livery here. Aldo Drudy inspired. Aldo Drudy actually is here with us in Austin this weekend. As for the first time then since 2024, Jorge Martin will come to a MotoGP grid as the World Championship leader. What a story the Martinators is. 2025 was a complete write-off. It was the worst season, the worst year, not just of his racing career, but of his life. I think there were probably times when he was recovering from numerous operations, multiple broken bones, that Jorge was thinking about throwing the towel in. We're so glad he didn't, as now we get set for the American national anthem, which is due to start in about 40 seconds time. You can see Marc Marquez coming to the grid. 7 times a MotoGP race winner here in Austin. Although he has crashed out of 3 of the last 5 from the lead, including here on the Gresini Ducati in 2024. Remember when he went down at turn 11, and he was also crashing out of the lead here 12 months ago on the factory Ducati. A mistake which was able to allow Pecco Bagnaia, his teammate, to win here in Kota. Let's get ready though for the American national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Enough to get the hairs on the back of your neck standing up. The anthem, the formalities out of the way. Next we race. Let's get a word from the camp of the pole sitter, VR46 boss Pablo Nietos with Jack.
Pablo, hairs on the back of my neck standing up. How does Fabio concentrate, refocus after what happened yesterday?
Yeah, these things happen, we know, and we have to be very focused on the race today because we have another chance. It's going to be difficult. We know that the first lap always is very, very difficult, but anyway, I think we can do a very good race.
Thanks, Pablo. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. Big day coming up here for VR46 and for Fabio Di Gianantonio. Having come so close in the sprint last weekend in Brazil, denied by Marc Marquez.